The exercises featured in the Nova Yoga Show are not suitable for everyone. It is recommended that you consult a physician before beginning this or any other exercise program.
Well, hey there, yogis. Welcome. I'm Melanie, and we're here at Nova Yoga Studio in St. John's, Newfoundland. Today we have a practice to really clear the clutter so we can exhale the funk and twist away any troubles that you might have. Joining me today, there's Kate and Susan. So if you're newer to yoga and you need some assistance, you're going to check out what Kate's doing back there. And if you're a more experienced practitioner and want to kind of turn up the volume on some of your poses, you're going to see what Susan's at over there. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat, and if you are newer to yoga, or if you're tighter through the hips and you want to lift your hips up on a blanket or a block like Kate is doing, you can do so, and that might help you to sit just with more comfort and more ease. So let's take the hands to the knees, palms down, closing the eyes, and taking a couple of breaths to really settle in and to connect to our intention today, which is to really let go and release anything that feels heavy or tense, anything that's weighing you down. And so we're sitting up nice and tall, taking the shoulders and rolling them back so that you can open up and lift through your chest. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And a nice big satisfying sigh. And taking that again, so big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time, feel free to make some noise, really let go. Inhale. And then opening up the eyes and bringing the hands together in front of the hearts in Anjali Mudra, and we're going to move into some twists. Take a deep breath in as you sit tall, and as you exhale, turn so that your hand moves to your knee or your thigh, and your fingertips are placed behind you, and wringing out the spine, maybe turning the gaze over the shoulder if that's okay with your neck. And with your inhale, come back to center, join the hands, lift and lengthen the spine. Then with your exhale, turn to the other side. And we're going to keep moving with our breath. Inhale to center. Exhale, moving into this cleansing, detoxifying twist so you can get rid of your physical and also some emotional or mental toxins. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And start to think about what you're going to twist away today, what you're going to breathe out, what you're going to let go of. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back around to center. And we're going to change our position so that we move into hands and knees. So if you're using a blanket or a block, just push it out of your way and come into all fours. And we're going to line up so the wrists are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips, and the fingers are spread wide. And we're going to move through some cat-cow with lion's breath. And I don't want you to be afraid of showing your lion's face. We're all doing it, so you feel free to do it too. So as you inhale, you're going to bow your head round your spine, gaze between your legs, finding your cat stretch. And then as you exhale, you're going to look forward, roll the heart open, stick out your tongue, and release whatever needs to go. Inhale, curl it in. Exhale, be free. One more big one, make it count. Inhale. And from here, we're going to curl the toes under and lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. So creating that upside down V with the body. And so Kate, I'll just get you to come down to your knees and show child's pose. And Susan, you can stay as you are. So if your wrists are bothering you or you want a little breather, a little break at this point, you can certainly come into your resting position, which is child's pose. Otherwise, you can feel free to join us in downward facing dog. And Kate, you can come up with us now in downward facing dog. So just take a moment to really root into the hands, root into the toes, the balls of the feet. And you can shake out your head if you wish, and just to shake away anything that you want to get rid of. And then you're going to shift forward into your plank pose. And Kate and I are going to bring the knees down. And you can follow Susan if you want to keep the legs straight. And we're going to come all the way down to the belly, keeping the elbows hugging into the ribs. Nice control. Once you're on your belly, untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back. Find a lift of your chest, cobra pose, smiling the chest, the heart forward. And then curling the toes under, moving through hands and knees or back with straight legs into downward facing dog. Another deep breath in and big sigh out. Bending both knees as you look forward, and you're going to start to walk to your hands. So however many steps you need to walk all the way forward to the hands. And with your inhale, slide your palms to your shins, lengthening your spine. And with your exhale, bow down out over your legs, forward fold. And then come up, take your arms wide, out to the side, up to the sky, stretching up through the fingertips. And then join your hands, take the hands down through the midline, and release your arms by your side. So let's step the feet all the way together at the top of the mat so the big toe mounds connect and the edges of the feet are parallel. So from here, we're going to take the arms out so that they're parallel to the floor. And we're going to bend the knees and sit down and back through the hips. Now, Kate is going to keep her hands here, but if you know that you could lift your arms up alongside the ears and have that okay with the shoulders, then you can certainly lift the arms up. So drawing in through the belly, lengthening down through the tailbone, we're going to take a breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to join your hands behind you and come forward into the bound version of your fold so you can really release any tension that you might have throughout your shoulders. As you inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, sweep your arms either parallel to the floor or up alongside the ears, lifting up, fierce pose. And then exhale again, joining the hands and coming forward into that bound version of your fold, knuckles rising to the sky. We'll give ourselves one more just like that. So inhale, sink low through the hips, rise up through the hands. And then exhale, interlace the fingers, and lifting the knuckles to the sky should feel really, really good. Let's come up into one more fierce pose. So bending your knees, taking the arms forward or up, and then straightening your legs. And let's fold all the way out over the legs into Uttanasana, into your forward fold. Once the fingertips have touched the ground, we're going to take a big step back with the right leg. So step the foot back behind you, and you're going to find your lunge. And I want you to make sure that your lunge is long enough so that the knee is stacked directly over the ankle. Now you're going to place your right hand on the mat, and you're going to lift your left arm to the sky, opening up into your twist. Let's move with breath. Inhale, slide your hand underneath your thigh. Exhale, lift your arm up, twist. And then one more time, inhale. And exhale. Now take your hand down to the inside of your foot. We're going to move into lizard, some hip opening, so lower the back knee all the way down. Walk your front foot a little wider, create some space. And you're going to start to soften through the elbows. So Kate is going to stay up on her hands, but she's going to bend her elbows like her chest wants to move to the ground. And I'm going to use a block for underneath my forearms. I think Susan there is going to go right down, forearms to the ground. And we'll take a couple of breaths here because we can hold a lot of tension in the hips. And it's not only physical tension, it can be emotional and mental tension as well. So give your hips a couple of deep breaths just to clear out any clutter that you have held there. And then rising back up onto the hands. If you're using a prop, the block, just shift it out of your way. We're all going to straighten the back leg. We're going to walk the hands around to the middle of the feet for our wide leg forward fold. So just notice your stance and adjust it so the edges of your feet are parallel. And then place your fingers in line with your toes. Firm up your thighs. Inhale, lift your spine halfway. Then exhale, take a bow. And think about the crown of your head moving to the ground. And then you're going to come up onto your fingertips again, lengthen your spine. And you're going to place your left hand at the middle of your mat underneath your nose. You're going to bring your right hand to the low back, to the hips, and make sure that you're nice and even through there. And you're going to start to revolve, turning the torso and taking that right arm to the sky. If you need to look down, you can certainly look down. And try to keep the hips even. And if you need to actually keep the hand on the hip, that's a great modification, Kate. You can certainly keep your hand on your hip. Let's change sides. So the right hand lowers down, center the mat underneath the nose. Left hand to the hip, and just see that you're nice and even through the hips. And then you can keep your hand on your hip as you start to rotate, turning the torso, revolving, maybe taking that arm to the sky, or maybe keeping the hand on the hip. And you can certainly look down if that's a better position for your neck. And then lowering your hand down to the mat. Again, give yourself the fold, crown of the head moving to the ground. And then bring your hands to your hips, lead with your chest. Strong legs to support you as you come all the way up. And then from there, you're going to turn your left toes forward for Warrior Two. So if you need to shorten up the stance a little bit, you certainly can. As you look at your feet, your front heel should line up with the back arch of your foot. Your front knee stacks directly over the ankle. And as you look down, you can always see the big toe of the front foot. Your hips are open, your heart is open, but you're super strong through your center. So hug the ribs into your body. We're going to take a breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your forearm to your thigh. And Kate is going to lift her arm straight up. I'm going to go for a little more side stretch, arm alongside the ear. And I think Susan's going to really spice it up there. She's going to go a little deeper. So take a couple of breaths here, breathing into your side, and feel yourself really expanding, filling the room. And then come all the way back up into your Warrior Two. Let's circle both hands down to frame the foot. And we're going to step it back into plank pose. We're going to go on a little adventure here. So we're going to twist our plank, one of my favorite things. We're going to take the feet hip width apart. We're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. So you're rolling into the outer and inner edges of your feet and let your hips roll to the left side. And we're going to take that again. Inhale, center. Exhale, let's twist to the other side. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Now walk your hands to your feet. Travel all the way to the back of your mat. And from there, I want you to bring your feet together all the way to touch. Parallel the edges of your feet. Bend your knees, sit your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, and sweep your arms to the sky, coming up into your fierce pose. And I'd like you to press your palms together, bring your hands down into the heart center. Let your torso shift forward. Draw the belly in as you lengthen your tailbone down, and then start to twist. So you're moving this right elbow to the outer left thigh, and you're pressing that elbow into the thigh so that you can open up through the torso, turning, twisting hands at the heart center. We're going to take a couple of breaths here, shifting that right knee and hip back so you're all squared up. And I think Susan is going to go a little deeper. She's going to balance, and she's going to look down, squeeze the knees together, and she's going to try and hug that right heel in and up for stork pose. And then she's going to set the foot down. And we're all going to look down, releasing the twist, and fold out over the legs. That should feel real good. And then walking your hands forward into your downward facing dog. And once you're in your downward dog, take a deep breath in. Big sigh out. And notice where you start to feel some space, some openness, some lightness of being as you release all the heaviness, all the tension, anything that is weighing you down. Take a deep breath in. This time, lion's breath. Stick out the tongue. Bend your knees, look forward, and let's walk up to the hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold out over the legs. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, step your left leg back behind you. So big step back with that left leg. And taking a moment to make sure that you're long enough in the lunge. So again, knee is right over the ankle. So you may need to step the foot forward or the back foot back to create more length. Left hand on the mat, taking a breath in. And then exhale, taking that right arm to the sky, cleansing twist. And we're going to move with breath. So inhale to slide the hand under. Exhale to stretch the arm up. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, and twists are so good for making space. I'm sure you can start to feel that. And then taking your hand down to the inside of your foot for lizard, lower your back knee. Walk your front foot a little wider to make space. If you're following Kate, you're going to stay on your hands, but you are going to bend your elbows a little and feel like you're moving down to the ground. I'm going to, again, use my block to place my forearms, and Susan is going to go all the way to the ground. Taking a few breaths here, and giving your hips the breath and the clearing out that they so deserve. Remember to really focus on the exhale. That's the part of the breath that lets us really release and cleanse, detoxify, and let go. Rising back up onto your hands and pushing the block out of the way if you were using it. And we'll all straighten the back leg. As you ground your back heel, walk your hands around to the middle of your feet. And you might need to adjust your stance so your feet are in one line, edges of your feet nice and straight. Place your fingers in line with your toes. Inhale, half lift of the spine. Exhale, folding. Crown of the head moving to the ground. Find length in your spine. And place your right hand in the middle of your mat underneath your nose. Take your left hand to your hips. Make sure they're nice and even. You can keep your hand on your hip as you start to twist, or you can lift your arm to the sky. You can look up or look down. Breathing freely here as you hold. And then lowering your hand, placing the left hand down. Bring your right hand to your hips, even yourself out, and really dropping that right hip down. And then start to revolve the torso, turning, twisting, opening, maybe lifting the arm up, maybe lifting the gaze up. And then lowering your hand down. Give yourself one more fold, firm your thighs, bowing forward, bowing down. And then bring your hands to your hips, strong, active legs, lead with your chest, come all the way up. And we're going to shorten the stance a little for Warrior Two. And you're going to turn your right toes forward. Back foot is parallel with the back of the mat, same alignment of the feet, front heel lining up with the back arch of the foot. Knee over the ankle, opening up through the thigh, opening up through the chest, and making sure you're not pushing the ribs forward. Hug them back in, keep that power for you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bring your forearm to your thigh for side angle. Arm can lift straight up. It can lengthen alongside the ear, or you can follow Susan, taking things a little deeper. If your neck is feeling icky when you look up, just look down, and that should feel more comfortable. And then coming all the way up into standing, Warrior Two, circling your hands down to frame your foot. And we're going to step it back into plank, and we're going to go on that twisting adventure again in plank, and I'm sure you love it as much as I love it. Wrists under shoulders, belly strong, feet hip width apart. Take a breath in. Exhale, twisting to the right to start, so rolling into the outer and inner edges of the feet as the hips roll to one side. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, center. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. So we're journeying to the back of the mat. Once you're there, walk your feet together, connect your big toe mounds. Bend your knees deeply, sinking the hips, and lift your arms up. From here, you're going to join your hands together in front of the heart. You're going to let your torso shift forward, belly in, tailbone long, and we're going to go for that nice deep twist. So bringing the elbow to the outer knee, outer thigh, pressing that elbow into the outer thigh and revolving the chest open. Watch for that left knee, make sure it doesn't shift forward, shift it back so that you're squared up. And think about what you're twisting away, what you're clearing out. And Susan, she's going to look down. She's going to squeeze her knees together. I can't see her, but I'm trusting she's doing it. And she's going to pick up that left heel, and she's going to balance in stork pose. And then set the foot down. If you're balancing, look down. Release the twist and fold. That should feel oh so good. And then walking the hands forward into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Gently come down to your knees and take a seat and swing your legs forward. And we're going to touch the toes down. We're going to bring the hands to the back of the thighs, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, a little boat pose. We're going to lift the legs, balancing on the sitting bones, the base of the tailbone. Don't hunch or crunch. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Kate is going to stay here and she might experiment with lifting her arms. Susan and I are going to twist this, hands together at the heart. We're going to take the left arm to the outer right knee. Then we're going to send the opposite arm behind, so we're opening. Maybe even a little smile. Either smile or stick out your tongue in boat pose. Either way, you won't tense up through your face. Come back to center, inhale. And then exhale, other side. Arm to the outer knee, hand behind you. And again, either smile or stick out your tongue. And then come back to center. And let it go. Let's bring the soles of the feet to touch, hug the heels into the groin. Wrap up the toes, the ankles, or the shins. And we're gonna inhale, lift the heart. Then exhale, we're gonna wave it forward into cobbler's pose, and we're gonna stay here. And we'll see in a moment if you wanna towel off or have a water break, and just stay here, enjoy the stretch, and we'll be right back.
Interested in livening up your yoga practice? For more information on Melanie and Nova Yoga, check out novayogaonline.com or visit her at Nova Yoga Studio at 125 Longs Hill.
And welcome back. We're clearing out the clutter today, exhaling and twisting away anything that needs to go. So let's come on up, and we're going to find our way into pigeon with a twist from downward dog. So hands and knees first. And from hands and knees, curl the toes under and lift your hips up and back. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat and lift your leg up. Lift your left leg up, I should say. Now bring that left knee to the back of the left wrist and place your shin on the mat. Instead of tucking your heel into the groin, we want to have the foot forward out of the groin. Look behind you, lower your knee, and then slide that leg into place. You want to make sure you're not sinking into one or the other hip. Stay nice and balanced and even between your hips. We're going to place the right hand in front of us at the center of the mat, left hand to the left hip, and we're going to gaze back over the shoulder. So you can stay here in this pigeon twist, or you can come down onto your forearm so it's parallel to the floor. Again, hand to hip, gazing over the shoulder. I think Susan is going to actually reach back and hold the foot. So either one of these positions for a couple of breaths. And then unwinding from the twist, and just taking a fold for a moment. Try and keep your front foot active, so that helps to protect the knee. And just feel how you're making some space and clearing out whatever needs to go that you have stored throughout your hips. Rising back up onto your hands. We're all gonna lift into downward dog. So curl your back toes under, and you're going to lift back, strong bodies to press back, downward dog. And then we're gonna pick up, we're gonna bring the feet together first, and then pick up that right leg, and then bring the right knee to the back of the right wrist, lowering the shin down, foot forward, heel out of groin. Again, looking behind you, leg is in line with the body as you slide the leg down. From there, placing your left hand at the middle of the mat, right hand to right hip, gazing back over the shoulder. I'm gonna try coming down to the forearm. And you can certainly join me or Susan or Kate, whatever version that you want to come into for a couple of breaths. Hip opening with this spinal twist, this release. And then unwinding from the twist and taking a bow for a moment, folding. And then lifting back up onto your hands. We're gonna shift together by sitting into the right hip, swing the back leg around, and we're gonna lie down, the moment you've all been waiting for, I know. You're gonna sit at the middle of your mat, feet on the floor, knees bent. Kate, can you roll down with your hands at the back of your thighs? Susan and I are gonna lift the hands and come down, challenging our inner strength, our core strength as we lower. And once you're down, you're going to take your arms out to the side. Knees are bent, feet on the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, let your knees roll to the left as you look to the right. So just nice, easy spinal twist here. And you can even close your eyes, preparing yourself for rest, for Shavasana, for relaxation. And then letting your knees float to center on the inhale. Exhale, let them roll to the right as you look to the left. And then bringing your knees to center. Hug them into the chest for a squeeze. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let everything go, stretching out through the legs, through the arms, and finding your most comfortable position, closing your eyes. I'd like you to take a deep breath. Let it all go. And just feel how you're lighter, how you feel free. There's more space in your body and your mind. You've cleared the clutter. You've exhaled the funk. And you feel more like your happy, calm, peaceful self. And I thank you very much for joining me. And I'll see you next time.
Hey yogis, we want to hear from you. Enjoy the show? Have a suggestion? We love your feedback. Send us a note at rogerstv.com or call 757-9600.